What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is May the 2nd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data points in 1 minute, we have non-farm payroll and unemployment. So in this video, I'll go over that because most likely this will impact the market in maybe a negative way. What we've seen every single day this week, the market take a negative data point and really pull back quite significantly. Luckily enough, it does get bought up every single time, so something to keep in mind. One thing that did give the market a little bit sense of optimism was this right here. So after hours, you had pretty much the states insinuating that they are talking with China and there might be a deal coming fairly soon. So we'll just have to wait and see if that is accurate. Of course, we've literally seen in front of our eyes this flip-flop. China coming out maybe later today saying that they don't talk. So I don't know what the hell is happening with that, but it's rather interesting. But moving on, so Dow is up 0.46, S&P up 0.42, NASDAQ it is up 0.28. And then you do have the fear and greed index still under the fear category, so it's improved though, so meaning people's appetite for risk is definitely increasing, but we'll have to wait and see. So non-farm payroll did come in 177 versus 140 the forecast, which is very good. Unemployment came in flat, so the market should really like this. Of course, I think this data point does pop that bubble about having a lot of the other data points for from this week justifying a rate cut, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. But I would assume the market's going to take this as a very strong positive, and it is. So definitely something to keep in mind, but nonetheless though, that shouldn't really change what big money is focusing on as far as today. So SoFi is just piggybacking off the broader market. No news, no SEC filings. Then again, they like to put out news around 9 a.m. So again, that could be still coming down the pipeline. 13.79% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 149.62 million shares. So with today being Friday, just take note of the open interest. We've seen time and time again a lot of manipulation. So you have 21,000 at that 13, then 23,000 at that 13.50. So kind of just watch for all of that. Right now though, with it at 1267, trading between this R1 and the pivot, so just kind of take note of those for strong support and resistance points. Moving on, class over holdings, it is up 52.99% because of yesterday's news. So it's just piggybacking off of that simply, but it does show that they entered into a 400 million equity purchase facility agreement to launch a Solana based treasury strategy. So you have, it's an interesting kind of scenario. More and more companies are moving towards that, having a crypto treasury strategy versus, I think I even saw early this morning how the UK is now banning individuals from borrowing money to put it in cryptocurrency. So you kind of have polar opposites kind of happening, but this just started trading, so it's too early to have a actual short interest percentage, but 204.86 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So I don't know if that's a lot, but based on this, at least shares on loan 186,000, it does show that there is more shares being shorted than on loan. So a little bit of a pre-sign that there is some manipulation happening and naked shorting. But right now with it at $8.10, trading between this R2 and this R1, so 990 will be a next strong target, and then 771 is going to be the next strong support. So this stock has definitely shown that it has a lot of good momentum, so let me know your viewpoint on that. Amazon actually just turned green, so they did have good earnings, just gave bad future guidance, but they did kind of do fairly well on the key metrics at least. But nonetheless though, it is green, so pretty good stuff for that. 0.75% of the free floats being shorted, so obviously not a squeeze play, and shorts haven't really been doing all that much, as you can kind of see. So just a good FYI. With it at 190 though, trading between this R1 and pivot, so 181 will be a strong support, and I believe it did actually go below that during the overnight, or initially at least from the pre-market or after hour, sorry. But 195 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So let me know your viewpoint on that one. Then moving on to another company that unveiled their earnings, and that is Apple. So they unfortunately didn't really move to the green aspect yet, but still down 3.21%. And yeah, they still have a ton of cash. They announced a massive buyback, and it's just very bad future guidance. I think it was they increased their potential loss next quarter just due to tariffs alone, $900 million, I do believe. So that's quite significant if you ask me, but 0.63% of the free float is being shorted. So shorts returning a lot leading into just today. It does insinuate that they felt that obviously it was going to be a beat, but surprise, surprise, I guess. But with it at 206, trading between these 2 points, so this R1 and the pivot, so most likely this R1 won't be touched, so the 223, but 202, just kind of watch for that. I do believe that was also, it bounced off of the low during the overnight until that optimism from China and the States that kind of came through. So just watch for 202 for the most part. And then last but not least, this company completely flopped like in all aspects, and that is Block. So down 22.08%, 2.95% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 16.34 million shares. Based on just the recent performance, I do feel that you will see a surge over the next quarter of shorts getting in, really pouncing all over this, so just be aware of that. But with it at 45 and change, trading between this S1 and this S3, so 41.50 will be a strong support, and then 46.62 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.